Welcome to Turn Riding Fear Around podcast. Simple methods to overcome fear and enjoy riding again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. This is episode 3, Mindful Grooming. I learned a lot with my accident. There were so many things that I should have known before that horse flipped over on me, before I ever got on. He was in pain. He was in severe pain. He'd been bitten by a black widow. And I didn't recognize any of the symptoms. Like many of you, we get into a rhythm of grooming our horses, and we just don't take the time to be mindful and really check in on ourselves and on our horses. So, what I'd like to talk about first is the pre-ride checklist. I have a pre-ride checklist for me, and that goes through: am I confident? Am I ready? Am I in pain anywhere? Do I have anything that's sore? Wiggle the body around. See if anything hurts. There's so much that goes into making sure I'm ready to get on and that I know if I'm not ready or I know if there's some challenges. The second pre-ride checklist is for our horse. And this is so critical. You know, when you're picking up the feet, do they give each foot to you willingly? Or do they not want to pick up a foot? Do they let you stretch their feet out? Do they let you move them around while you're grooming them? One of the things while I'm grooming is I feed them hay, a big pile of hay, or I let them graze while I'm grooming and tacking up. This really lets me know that they're relaxed. Their head is down, they're eating, they're not picking their head up every few seconds to see what's around and then taking a bite. I call that the grab and go. But really, have a pre-ride checklist for you. If you wear a helmet, if you wear a vest, if you wear, certain clothes, just put together a checklist. You know, when a pilot goes around an airplane, they've got a checklist. They make sure they're ready and they make sure the plane's ready too. And with our horses, you know, really with a pre-ride checklist, it could save our life. I I knew somebody that went to get on a horse and the horse didn't want to stand at the mounting block and she went ahead and forced it and she had an accident. All of this could have been prevented. I'm not saying every accident could be prevented, but there's so many accidents that could be prevented if we were mindful while we were grooming. If we paid attention to ourselves, if we paid attention to the horses, if we paid attention to our interaction, and the pre-ride checklists are a great way. Put together the list for you, put together the list for your horse. Every horse is different. I've got one that used to be cinchy. Actually, when she came here, I was told she's very cinchy. And because I just immediately assumed she wasn't, and I started tacking her up with a big pile of hay in front of her, I've never once seen her be cinchy. The second part of this is actually tacking up. Once you've done the grooming and you know your horse is feeling good, they don't have any bumps, bruises, cuts, sores, we can't bubble wrap our horses. Um, Tacking up is really important. Make sure you don't have any wrinkles in your saddle pads. Make sure everything is smooth. Make sure you don't have any pieces of hay stuck in a saddle pad. Make sure the cinch is clean. Make sure it'd be something you'd want to put on you against your skin. I've got one horse that taught me a lot. She will not let me put on a saddle pad if it's already been worn. I have to use new, fresh saddle pads every time. And that's actually not a bad thing because then I know it's been washed. I know it's clean. And when I put it on her, I know it's not going to have any hidden things in it that are going to bite her or stick her. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Also attacking up, I put the saddle blanket on or the pad, and then I let them move around a little bit. I hold on to it so it doesn't fall off. And then I put the saddle on, and then I put the girth on really loose and just let them walk around a little bit. And then I tighten it up so it's a little bit tighter. And And at that point, I will let them walk. I'll take them for a little walk. I like to do figure eights. Figure eights are great for stretching both the left side and the right side while you're tacking them up. Then when I get my girth almost ready to where I am to get on, I take them again for another walk. Watch them while they're walking. You can see if they're antsy. You can see if they're triggered. Once you get all your tack on, the final check is to do your girth up one more time before you get on. And I stretch their front legs out. Just hold it up in front of them. See if they want to stretch. Kind of like the farrier when the farrier puts it out in front to do the outside. Kind of like that. Just hold it up. And I've got one horse, she'll stretch her chest almost to the ground. And then I'll do the other leg and see how it goes. And I was actually taught this by my jumper. When I'd tack up my jumper, he used to pick up his front leg and just stand there holding it until I'd grab it and let him really pull against it and stretch. What this does is it stretches out the area underneath the cinch and keeps it from having any issues. So if you've enjoyed this, then I'd love to have you get my book. I'll put a link to it in the comments. Fear to Courage, Rise from Fear to Courage, and you can get it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the books. See you guys in episode 4.